The United States fully withdrew from Afghanistan in August 2021, ending a mission that morphed and grew over 2 decades. But in the 3 years since the war ended, hundreds of Americans from all walks of life are struggling in obscurity to help Afghan allies that the U.S. left behind after the Taliban assumed control of the country.
So when we talk about the withdrawal, it's not just a point to criticize our military or our government, which obviously is a part of it, and I understand that. But there is a human aspect that I hope people one day can look at and understand. What it means to be so desperate that you will cling to an airplane as it takes off because you are so certain of death on the ground. Or to be a mother who is so prepared to fight for her child that she will throw them to someone she doesn't know over the wire and just hope for their survival.
Like many U.S. veterans who deployed to Afghanistan, retired Green Beret Scott Mann says he owes his life to the Afghans he trained and fought alongside.
Well, I think that the veteran population is the moral compass of our nation. In many ways, our last best hope for doing the right thing when nobody's looking. And there were so many commandos, intelligence operatives, interpreters and their families that we just left in a lurch, that we left at risk. And we have an obligation. If an SIV visa, for example, was applied for, then we need to try to honor that.
About 160,000 Afghans have relocated to the U.S., but many thousands more are still searching for a pathway out of Afghanistan. Kate Kavarovic worked with civilian volunteers who have been fielding Afghans' calls and messages for help.
The primary group of volunteers are the case managers. For example, if you're still in Afghanistan, they're helping to send you food, they're getting you medical care, they're setting up safe houses, they're helping with your visa applications. Then most people are sent to like a third-party location while they can wait to find out where they're going to resettle. We offer support there. And then once you are in your final destination, we help with housing, we help with job searches. And so I think that the volunteer community has been through an incredible amount of trauma. And we can give names to it, right? There's the burnout and the compassion fatigue and the moral injury and secondary trauma, as in the images that you see coming through your phone even though you're not experiencing it. And what I have seen is that this experience fundamentally changes who these volunteers are. You don't get involved in this work unless you care very deeply about it, and you will experience more failures than you will successes. And you never forget that. And what I hope that people will understand one day is that these are lifelong conditions. So even people who leave the volunteer work, even if you never speak to another Afghan again, this is going to sit with you for the rest of your life, and it is going to change how you feel. It's going to change your worldview.
Moving forward, many in the movement want accountability from the U.S. government. They're seeking mental health support for volunteers and a permanent immigration pathway for Afghans.
If sending people into war can be bipartisan, if there are people on both sides who can support that, then we need to have people on both sides who are going to clean up the mess that happens after.